So this is spoilers for yet another video, but new recording spot. We'll still use the other one. Hopefully me moving around isn't too distracting because I can't stand still, and hopefully the audio is good, but hello, welcome to or welcome back to the channel. Not too long ago, I made a video over my Switch games and consoles, just to kind of document my collection, even though it's not super big yet. Not that I necessarily want to have like a ginormous games collection. We're going for all killer, no filler here, for the most part. But I wanted to do the same thing today for another console that is probably tied with the Nintendo Switch for being my favorite, maybe a little below, but this one for nostalgia's sake is my favorite. And that is the lovely Nintendo GameCube. Once again, I don't have the biggest collection in the world, but this is a documentation and it gives me more time to talk about the games I care about, which is most of them. But yeah, without any further ado, we might as well start with my GameCube since I am currently holding it. It's a little dusty, so I'm not going to show you too closely. But I have had this GameCube since I was a small child, and it shows it is beat up. It has this yellowing Smash Bros skin on it, which is pretty cool. Maybe it doesn't look too yellow on camera. It's like, it's fine, but it's definitely yellowing, and I feel like someday it's going to look like an ancient newspaper or something, which will be interesting. And you can also tell how beloved it was by the fact that it no longer works. And I actually tried to fix it a couple of days ago. It's not reading disc right, it powers on. So I did the thing where it's like, maybe it's the potentiometer, which sounds like a made-up science tech word, but it's not. It wasn't that. I think the capacitors are blown. Maybe it's just the little laser in there needs to be replaced. Either way, I'm hoping soon to take it to a professional. It has not worked for a while. I've just been using my Wii, but with the setup changes, I need my GameCube back. So yeah, hopefully soon he will be returned to me. But you can tell it also has the Game Boy player, which is another tragedy. The Game Boy player, last I checked, works fine. The problem is that whenever I was a kid, if it had a case, which I'm sure it came with a case, I don't know what happened to the disc that came with the Game Boy player for you to actually be able to use it. But I watched that disc. It was just loose. I just watched it slowly get destroyed. That was awesome. At some point it ended up in the floor of my parents' garage. I don't even know how that happened. I don't know where it is anymore, and if I did, it probably does not work. And that's really unfortunate because they're expensive now. So I can't currently use it. I've heard there's other things you can do in replacement of a disc. I don't know which option I'm gonna go with, but yeah. I'm not gonna show all my controllers and my microphone that came with Mario Party 7 because I just don't feel like that's very interesting. We're gonna talk about the games. Especially because despite me recording this on the first day of fall, it's like 100 degrees outside. And I turned off my AC for this, so I need to pick it up, especially I'm wearing fuzzy socks. It's just not gonna last very long, you know? We gotta get through these fast, but not too fast. I like blabbing. So I just pulled these off of my shelf, so they might be in alphabetical order, they might not, but the way I had my shelf organized, my 3 favorites are saved for last, my 3 favorite games. So that's kind of fun, that's kind of suspenseful. So we're just gonna start from the top, which is this Bionicle game, which was given to me by a friend. It's kind of sticky, so I need to clean it. And if you haven't seen my game room tour, there will be game room videos out soon where you will see them, but my husband has a very large Bionicle collection. However, whenever I was given this game, I thought it just didn't work because my GameCube wasn't reading it, and I don't know if it's because my GameCube was on its way out because it shortly thereafter died, or if this game doesn't work. It looks fine, so I feel like it should work. It's probably my GameCube, but I haven't played it. I think my husband has, but not this copy of it. I think it was on something else. Next, we have Crash Tag Team Racing. And this was a Goodwill find, whenever my Goodwill was still good. It doesn't even sell games anymore. Where has it taken them? I know where it's taken them, actually. So this was $1, and I've never played a Crash game, but I want to. Is this a great one? I'm unsure. I still haven't played it because, once again, when I found it, my GameCube was on its way out. I don't boot up my Wii very often. I've been deprived. I'm hoping talking about this and editing this video will actually spur me into talking to someone so that my GameCube will be fixed. I love that I'm like, most of these games are dear to me, and then we're starting off with ones I haven't even played. That's awesome. This was another Goodwill find in the same trip, actually. I found a good handful of games one day. I think it was around the pandemic. I can't remember if it was before or like right after they had opened. I know I was like, we gotta get to Goodwill right as they open, after they've been shut because of the plague. I'm like hiccuping, it sounded like I was really scared of the plague. But I found a bunch of GameCube games, one of which was Pokemon Coliseum, which, spoilers, I have, but I already had it. So I was kind of one of those people that are quite divisive on the internet, and I sold Pokemon Coliseum but got all the other games. Technically for a profit, but for free, you know. I don't know how I feel about that morally, but I did it, and now I have Donkey Konga too. Okay, so I am editing this video, and who is gonna tell me that the Donkey Konga 2 says is stuff like, losing my religion? What? I don't have the bongos. I see them all the time at my local game store. I should get the bongos. I want to play this so bad. Next, we finally have a game I have played, and that is The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. I'm not showing my copies very closely because my nails are horrendous. I was pulling weeds earlier before it got too hot outside, and just nobody needs to see that, but these copies are like pretty scuffed. You can tell, like, it's kind of sad. The ones I found from Goodwill, like, look way better than my childhood copies. It's like that with a lot of my toys that I collect still to this day too, but you can just tell which ones were mine. This game I played with my sister a lot, had a very good time. We never beat it. It's one of those things that's like, whenever you're playing a game with other people, it's like hard for both people to like stay into it, to see it all the way through. But now that I'm playing through all the Zelda games, I'm very excited to go back to this because I know I loved it. And we do have the Game Boy Advance, like little link cables, whatever those are called. So I was able to play this properly. Not with 4 people. I didn't have that many friends. That's not true. We just didn't play this game. But I'm excited to replay this. And then next we have my most controversial opinion. We have The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Master Quest for the GameCube. Cool that this exists. I'm glad it does because I love the N64. Do not get me wrong, do not come for me, but the controller is garbage. I think we can all agree on that, right? So I prefer playing Ocarina of Time on my GameCube. That being said, I hardly did. Because I had Wind Waker. And I had 4 Swords Adventures. One of which, Wind Waker, much more fun to play single player, and then the other one I could play with my sister. So this one did not get touched very often. Not by me, at least. My sister played it a bit, and I messed around on her save a couple of times. But for the most part, I haven't really, like, properly played Ocarina of Time, and I'm about to fix that. And I might make a video about it. And I will call it playing Ocarina of Time for the first time, because that's what does good by the algorithm, but technically it will be a lie. I have played it a little bit, and this is how I did it. Then next we have Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I am so glad I had this on the GameCube. I remember about, like, when this game was new, 2006, yes. I don't think we had a Wii anyways yet by the time it was coming out. Maybe we did. Can't remember. We were not usually first to get a console. The Switch 2 is the first Nintendo console I've ever gotten on launch. Anyways, I remember like seeing this was on Wii too and just being like, but I don't want to wave my arm around, and that's why I've never played Skyward Sword to this day. I just don't want to wave my arm around. So I'm glad I have this on the GameCube. I adored this game when I was a kid. Like, I have so many good memories of this game, and then I go back as an adult and I watch other people play it and I'm like, I didn't get as far as I thought I did. So this is another one, now that I am a mature adult, that I'm very, very excited to revisit and finally beat, because oh my god, the vibes, astonishing. I'm not explaining anything what these games are about, I'm just assuming everyone knows. You better know. In the Switch one I was showing like footage and everything. Do I need to restart this? I'll put footage in anyway, it's fine. I don't want to restart this. This isn't a recommendation video anyway, this is just a trip down memory lane for us all, probably. And then the next is my favorite Zelda game, and you can probably already guess which one it was because I already mentioned it. That is Wind Waker. The exploration, beautiful. I was not, you know, for one, it was 2003, I was 6 years old when this came out. I was not a part of the discourse of people not liking the art style and all that. I enjoyed it. I still do. This is the best one. I love sailing around, that's good stuff. And it's, once again, I'm very excited to replay it. That's one I'm pretty sure I did beat, but I have like vague memories of it. So I'm like, did I just watch my sister beat it? I don't know, I was a child. And it's been too long since I revisited it. Next we have Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, which this one, like, I played a little bit. A little bit with my sister, I think a little bit with myself or my friends too. But it didn't quite hook me as some of the other games on the GameCube. This is, of course, I was about to tell you it was the golf game. It's in the title. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of golf. Like, I'll play some mini golf, I suck at it, but I think it's this game that has the wonderful cutscenes at the beginning though. I do appreciate that. And then we have a game I played probably way too much, and that is Mario Kart Double Dash. This is such a fond memory sort of game to me. I played it a lot on my own, I did, but I also played it a lot with friends. This was like one of the games, like even throughout high school, I would invite people over and be like, we're playing Mario Kart. In fact, like I was pretty good at this game, since I played it so much, you would hope I was. And so was one of my friends, and then my other friends weren't really, but I had them all over at one point, and me and the other good at Mario Kart friend decided to team up, and then we both were sabotaging each other the entire time that we completely sucked. Like, it was so weird how downhill that went once we were like, well, we should team up and then we'll be unstoppable even though we already are, but we won't have to compete with each other. And then we competed with each other anyways. But it's such a unique Mario Kart game. If you didn't know, there are 2 players per kart. Please don't look at my fingernails. You can have it be an NPC that you can like swap between, and they get like, NPCs have different like special abilities, like items they can pick up, you know, Mario Kart. But like special ones for the character. So there's a little bit of fun mix and match there. But you can, like I said, like have 2 humans controlling these characters as well. One will be driving, one will be like responsible for throwing items, but they can also like nudge you over and everything, and that is usually where our problem was. But it's just, it's so fun. I still love this game. All the unlocks, I did it, I just, Next we have Mario Party 6, and I'm about to once again say something kind of controversial. I loved this game, I did. I didn't play it nearly as much as the next one, which we will of course get to. That is of course 7, but this has like a day and night mode, and it's really like interesting. I do appreciate that, but I didn't get nearly enough time out of this. I think we had borrowed it from a friend, and I think it was already, like, I think the GameCube days were already over by the time we had borrowed it, and then I think we saw it somewhere and got it, but its time had passed, you know what I mean? So we just didn't have very much time with it. But I know 6 is a lot of people's favorite, so. But my favorite, of course, was 7 because it's the one I had as a child. And that's just how Mario Party works. Your favorite's always the one you had as a kid. I don't know, I just like it, man. I just like it. It's like home. I like the maps. I do. The Mike mini games, they can be really funny when it's an NPC easy level Toad and he immediately gets the first fruit wrong and then completely beats you and your husband at the overall game. I don't know, something about it, man. Something about it. Next is Need for Speed Most Wanted, which was my sister's game. However, the games that she has kept in her collection disappeared, so I rightfully, let's not call it my sister actually. There are some games that she had that I graciously let her keep. I'm not sure why this wasn't one of them. I'm noticing it's like disgusting and has suspicious like brown stuff on it. And I kind of want to make a video where I just go through and clean every single game and console of mine, because I did play this a fair bit with her. We played a lot of racing games, so they kind of blur together, you know what I mean? This could possibly be the one that, for some reason, buses would always spawn in right in front of just me, never her. I don't know what was up with that. I don't remember if this is it or not. This looks like darker and grittier. It was like, you know, actually it was 2001. This is more like 2009 grittiness, but it was ahead of its time, I guess. Next, we have my most recent GameCube game, and that is Pikmin 2, and I know. I didn't have this until, like, maybe a year ago, if it was even that long. And Pikmin is now one of my favorite series. However, I did not play it until Pikmin 4 came out. I rented Pikmin 1. I did. I was just a stupid kid and didn't get very far, thus I never bought it. Biggest mistake of my life. I love this series. Pikmin 2, however, is very mean. It stole my lunch money, shot my mother. I bought it originally for the Switch, and that is how I played it, but I saw this for a good price at one of my favorite game stores, and it was like way more expensive everywhere else, so I was like, you know what, I should get this here because I want to get at least Pikmin 1 and 2 on GameCube because they're so iconic. I don't have Pikmin 1 yet. I know this is so sad. Hopefully I will be fixing that soon now that I'm focusing more on collecting games, since my Kirby's keep getting stuck in shipping and tariff purgatories. Shouldn't order any more of those, so retro games it is. And modern games. We're game collecting now, that's what we're doing. Anyways, this one has Louie in it, so that is good, but the caves and like, it's very combat focused, and that I don't like. I like exploration more so than combat in games, and this one's just a jerk. Like, it pulls fast ones on you. It's just mean. Next we have Pokemon Coliseum, which I did mention having. However, this was one of those games that, like, me and my sister had 2 memory cards, but one of them was an Animal Crossing memory card, and I don't think fit more than Animal Crossing on it. And I'm pretty sure this was 1 save file per memory card, so I got to watch it. It looked cool. I do want to go back now and play this, but unfortunately I never did back in the day. I just watched it. Next is another one of the Goodwill finds from whenever I got really lucky that one day. And that is Shrek 2. Which, Shrek 2 is my favorite of the Shrek movies. I haven't played this yet. I doubt it's good, but yet I've heard people say it's good anyways. I have this thing where I don't trust licensed games, and I never have, not even when I was a kid. We did used to have the Ed, Edd n Eddy, like, licensed game, but I don't know. My sister took that one, so I don't know where it is nowadays, but I don't know if it was that game that broke my trust or what, but I've just never been into the idea of these sort of games. This was just really funny, and it was like $1, so I have it. Next is Soul Calibur 2, which I do have very fond memories of playing with my sister and one of her friends. You can be Link in this one, since the GameCube version you can do that, and that's really cool. Like, Link was my first childhood crush. He really was. And it was probably this version of him. But yeah, just a fighting game. I was never any, like, good at it. I like playing fighting games, like, casually, as a party game. I don't put that much more into them though, you know? Ooh, next, okay, we have Super Mario Strikers. I love this one. And it makes me sad that I've heard the newer Strikers games aren't as good, because this one's amazing. Like, this got so many laughs out of me and my sister. Like, we played this so much. The animations that the characters do, like, also wonderful. It's the Mario soccer game, but, or football if you are not American. But like the little power-ups and everything, like, I don't know, once again, it was one of those things I took very casually, but it was a great time when you were bored, you know? Then next, this is another one kind of like Wind Waker that it's like, how is this not in my top 3 games? And that's because the GameCube has a lot of good games. But I did struggle deciding which was my 3rd favorite between this, Wind Waker, and what did end up being my 3rd favorite. Now I'm thinking of the 3rd best moles. Guys, I love Earthbound. It has infested my brain this year anyway. That is Super Mario Sunshine. And I have a tragic tale that this is not actually my childhood copy. My best friend in high school, like middle school, early high school, She had a GameCube as well. She was getting her room redone, and she had me like hold on to all of her games and her GameCube for a little while. Just so that they wouldn't get like paint or be in the way, you know, for safekeeping. And she took those back, and I was like, you know, you need to play Super Mario Sunshine. So I let her borrow it because she didn't have Super Mario Sunshine, and then almost immediately after she decided that she hated me, and I'm like, okay. So I did not any longer have Super Mario Sunshine, and I no longer loan out games. I don't do it. Like, your own best friend stabs you in the back out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, trust issues. Anyhow, this is the game that gave me trust issues for many different reasons. This is still my favorite 3D Mario. I know I'm probably just nostalgic, but I'm gonna say the vibes yet again. The vibes. I love, like, one of my favorite things about this and another, my true third favorite GameCube game, is that it actually feels like you're in a place instead of a level, and I love that with games, especially like Nintendo games. I mean, I guess also like fantasy games, of course, naturally, but that's just a given, you know what I mean? But like when a Nintendo game does it, like, that's good stuff. So Isle Delfino. I love a good beach anyway. Yes, the controls are mean, however, I have found that I'm actually pretty decent at this now. I beat Sandbird on the second try, and I only lost on the first try because I jumped away to get a blue coin and then got abandoned, but I don't mean to brag, but I'm pretty good at Super Mario Sunshine now. I did recently, like this past year, go back and replay this. I was afraid it wouldn't be my favorite anymore after Odyssey. Odyssey deserves it more, but this one's still my favorite. It's so good. It's so good. I love the level designs, even though they are hard, and nobody likes the ones where you can't use FLUDD, but we can ignore those, even though you can't. Then next, oh my gosh, you can tell that this got played a lot. It is grubby, it is beat up, but that is Super Smash Bros. Melee. A game that probably once again needs no introduction, and once again, I wasn't the most competitive at this. I do think I'm better than your average person, but I mean, I say I couldn't hold my own against someone that plays competitively, but I have before. It's like a give or take, you know, sometimes I can. If I'm my boy Kirby, I can.
If you say something sexist, I will delete you.
I've been a Kirby main since the 64 days. I am loyal, but Melee's just... especially after coming off the 64 and into Melee, like, I think this is why we got a GameCube that Christmas that we got our GameCube, because my sister, she's older than me. I think she played this at a friend's house, and it was all over from there. She wanted Melee, and we got Melee, and we had a real good time, and I still love Melee so much. And I'm pretty sure it still holds up, considering how many people still play this competitively, but I think that's also like balancing stuff. I don't know. I'm not sweaty, even though I am, because my AC isn't on. Anyway, we love Melee. We love Melee here. Oh my god, next we have another favorite, and that is WarioWare Inc. This game was one of my favorite party games, like another game that I would invite people over just to play, and it was mostly for the turtle game where you're like balancing on the turtles. I had so much fun with that with my friends. I don't think my sister was as into it, so I do think I had to bribe people to come over to play this with me, because it was not nearly as fun alone, though I did sit there and play it alone so that I could hone my abilities so that no one could even challenge me, even though what's the fun of that, but I tend to do that a lot for some reason. But yeah, if you've never played a WarioWare game, this is the only one I've ever played. I don't know why, I should probably fix that, but at least in this one, there's like overarching games that you're kind of playing, and then you play like little mini games. It's not like Mario Party, it's like, I don't know, it's just weird. And it is weird, the humor in it is very strange. But once again, I appreciated that. Especially at the age where I was playing this a whole lot, which was, let's see, 2003, 2004. I'm gonna assume I got this in like 2005 when I was about 8, and I played it religiously until I was about 18, so, you know, good time to be playing this, and honestly I want to play it again some more, so if you want to come over and play WarioWare with me, let me know. And then next we have, this is actually my last game before my top 3 favorites. This is Wario World, which is another one that I really love. I didn't know, apparently a lot of people don't like this one, at least compared to the other Wario games. They say it's not very good, but I thought it was really good. And it's one of those games that I replay a lot around Halloween. I think it's because of the spooky level. where you're in like the cemetery, so I think that just made that association once, but I don't know, I thought the levels were fun, I thought the boss was fun. I haven't, or the boss is, but I haven't played this since I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I beat it. I think I made my husband play it for at least a little bit whenever we started dating, but I need to replay this myself, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, I actually don't know which, actually, I think I do, hold on, I'm going to organize. This is like, what is my top 3 favorite GameCube games? Kind of shifts around, especially the top 3 shift around with each other, but even some days I might tell you Sunshine is like my favorite, or Wind Waker. You get it, it changes. This is just my listings today, and when I reorganized my shelf. So, as the 3rd favorite, this feels sacrilegious to call it my 3rd favorite. I adore this game. Some days it is my favorite. Luigi's Mansion. This is the game I was talking about where it feels like you're in an actual place, and the other 2 Luigi's Mansion games have not quite pinned that down. They still feel very levelly. 3 kinda almost did in the beginning, and then it got too levelly. But exploring the mansion, good stuff. I'm being really descriptive today. I really am. Just like, I'm a fan, like, I don't like horror. I don't like actually scary things. I'm like, honestly, my personality is pretty much Luigi's. I have a whole Luigi shrine behind me. It turns out I'm a huge fan of Luigi. But, so maybe that's why I like this so much. It's very relatable. But I do love spooky things. Like, I love Halloween. I love ghosts. This is like the perfect spooky game for me. Because I'm a little baby. And I play this almost every October, and the time draws near for me to play it again. I keep hoping they'll put it on an SO so I can stream it, but where is it, Nintendo? It's not even a very long game. Like, if you have not played Luigi's Mansion, I beg of you, play Luigi's Mansion. If you don't like Luigi's Mansion, actually I have a tragic story with this too. This isn't my childhood copy either. I know. This is actually, I think, the time that I was like, yeah, I'm not lending out games to anybody anymore. Because this was shortly after the best friend incident. I lent this game to another friend. And that friend was not very responsible. I don't know. I think he sold it to buy illicit things. I don't know. I'm not really friends with this person anymore. I don't associate with criminals. I'm making assumptions anyway, but, I kept asking for him to give this back. Like, I was just like, yeah, you can borrow it for like a week. I put like that was me like adjusting. I was like, okay, maybe I can lend out games, but I gotta give it like a due date, you know? Like, I'm gonna ask for it back after like a week or 2. And I did. This is not a long game. You can beat it in a week. And he kept never showing up with it. Never showing up. I showed up to his house. I went to this guy's house and I was like, give me back Luigi's Mansion. He didn't have it. So I can't remember if I mentioned I found Sunshine at Goodwill. I'm a little all over the place. I found Sunshine again at Goodwill, but this one I had actually, like, I think it was the next year or 2 in high school. I can't remember what year it was, but I was talking to a different friend about the Luigi's Mansion situation, and she was like, oh, I do not like that game. You can have my copy. I don't know how you don't like Luigi's Mansion, but I appreciate you, my good friend, because this is my it is the 3rd best, the 3rd strongest game. I don't even, can I make Earthbound references here? Is this a good space to do that? I don't even know if please tell me y'all know about the 3rd strongest mole. Anyway, I like this one. Then next, my currently 2nd favorite GameCube game. To no one's surprise, it is Animal Crossing. I used to always call it Population Growing because it says it right there. But people get mad whenever you do that. It's apparently just Animal Crossing. You can say GameCube. Stuff still pops up if you Google this though, so. This is still my 2nd favorite Animal Crossing game, and Animal Crossing is like one of my favorite series. If you couldn't, I don't think you can actually see my Animal Crossing shrine, but this I'm very grateful that a friend showed me whenever I was a kid. He had this game, he came over, he showed it to me, and I rented it after that, and I was like, this is one of the best games in the world, so my parents got it for me. So I can say that I was like an Animal Crossing fan from the start. I'm so glad it's popular now. I never thought it would be. But something about this game is like so cozy and charming. Like it is so like simplistic, like barbarically so, especially compared to New Horizons. New Leaf is still my favorite. New Horizons is below this one, but I don't know, man. I know it's probably nostalgia. I went through last year though, so I know it's not just like far away nostalgia. I went through last year. I did everything. I paid off my house. I completed the museum, which of course means I caught every bug and fish. That, like every fall, like late summer, early fall, I get really into Animal Crossing again. I am doing it this year. I'm playing New Horizons this year again. But last fall, it was a GameCube one. I had a great time. I really did. I'll have to do a video showing off my town someday. I will. And then my first favorite will surprise nobody. And that is Kirby Air Ride. Of course, with Air Riders coming out, that hasn't changed. This being my favorite. Let me tell you about how annoying I was about this game. Literally, like, anytime anybody would come over, there was one specific friend that really got tormented with it because she would always agree to play it with me. But City Trial. Need I say more? Like, the best game to play with other people. Unfortunately, it doesn't hold up very much on its own. Like, it's fine on its own. I definitely played it on its own still, but I do prefer to play this with other people. The racing mode's fine, top-down mode or whatever it's called. I don't remember. No, I did not really play that one, but City Trial, oh my god. The main thing I wanted from Kirby Air Riders was multiple City Trial maps, so I'm a little, like, miffed about the new one. Like, not having more? I don't know, it's like I'm excited for it, but like I was expecting more out of it. It almost seems like a remake, you know what I mean? But this game is so good. It's, I don't know if it's a, like, necessarily a cult classic. It didn't sell very well, but the people that played it, like, really loved it, mostly for City Trial. But yeah, please come over and play City Trial if you want. Soon we'll be able to online. I guess that's pretty good, but yeah. This is my childhood copy, luckily. So is Animal Crossing, but this, I remember the day I bought this. We had gone, I think it was to Target. It was usually Target. I don't know what I had done. I was very small. When did this come out? 2003. I don't know if I got it on release. I was probably 6 or 7, maybe 8, but I think that's pushing it. I feel like I remember liking it before then. I was already a Kirby fan at that point. And I remember looking at the wall of games and just being like, oh, I don't know which one. And my eye kept being pulled to Kirby Air Ride, and I was like, he looks so mad. I don't know what this is about. Like, what is this? But I bought it, and I'm so glad I did. Especially this game's kind of pricey now. My copy's not particularly good because it was my childhood copy, and I loved things very hard. But I hope the new one's even better. I do, I really do. But it'll be hard to do because I love this one so much. Anyways, that's all my GameCube games. Hopefully I talked about each one enough. I know I didn't get into like what they were about very much, but I'm hoping like showing some gameplay on the screen will hopefully make up for that. But yeah, it's getting hot in here. I need to turn my AC back on. So please let me know what your favorite GameCube games were, or your least favorites. I feel like that's also fun. I don't know what my least favorite was. They're all beautiful in their own way. But yeah, keep a lookout for the next video, or at least what I assume is the next video. Maybe I'll edit it first, I don't know. I can't finish recording it yet, so I doubt that. I'll probably put this one in as a filler episode, but yeah. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I'm excited to see where my GameCube collection goes in the future, but I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.